Hi, this is Janie from Janie's Journals, and I appreciate you stopping today, whether it's by accident that you found me or by design. I appreciate you stopping. Today I am going to jump on the bandwagon with ARTYmaze, and the lady from the other channel, I think the name of her channel is Creative Cove. If that's wrong, I'll link the correct channel below. But they have been doing these really neat watercolor images that they start out with, just this is media paper, mixed media paper, and washi tape is what I've used here to make the sections, and then I've just used a permanent ink and stamped my images on here. I'm toying with the idea of making a fairy journal, so I thought these would be really cute to make ephemera with, whether it's pockets, envelopes, or just whatever. So I'm starting out with really small images, and they did, I think it was 4 images on one big sheet, and I didn't trust myself to be able to do that, so I'm starting out with really small images. My paints are, this one is from Yasutomo. I got it off of Amazon. It's a real pretty palette. It's kind of shimmery, the paints are. So I thought I would use that. That looks kind of fairy-like to me. And then just the simple one, I don't even know what brand it is. I got it at Walmart, but it's got a ton of really pretty colors. So I've got my paints. I've got my water for my paints. I've got my sweet peach tea, and I will change the angle on this camera and we'll get going. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. The only other thing I did want to show you is the color palette that I kind of want to go along with is this book. Oh my gosh, I love this book. I'll show that to you real quick. It's called, can you see that? It is Benningfield's Countryside, what's that second word on there? I got this from thriftbooks.com, and I had seen someone else on YouTube at some point using this book, and I had written it down. Okay, Countryside Viking, and that's by Benningfields. There we go. But anyway, I saw somebody else using this book, and I thought it was just gorgeous. And even just that first page, look at that. So it has got some beautiful images, and it reminds me of the Edith Holden books. Is that the name? Reminds me of that quite a bit. So I found a page. This is the one I found that I want to use as the cover of my fairy journal. There's a lot of glare on that, I'm sorry. But this is the page I want to use as the cover. I'm going to make a little wooden door, for a fairy entrance. And then I had seen Gail Augustinelli had ordered these Life's vignettes. I don't know if she ordered them or if she's on the design team, but she was showing these the other day. And I thought that some of those images would be beautiful in a fairy journal. So I'm going to use these 2 color palettes combined today. Attempt to. So I'm just going to leave these kind of set out as a reference for me. But yeah, if you can get your hands on one of these books, I would buy it. And the center of every signature is a 2-page spread that's bound so that you can pull them out and have a full sheet like this. That's perfect for a junk journal cover. Okay, you're going to hear some banging outside. I'm afraid my husband's working on the hay baler today. So my understanding of this is that you build up a background around these stamps. So the colors that they used were all a little darker than what I'm probably going to use, but I don't know. I'm just going to try it because They both said in theirs that they absolutely didn't know what their plans were. They was just gonna get on there and just start painting. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not the best at talking through these things. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that. But so they just kind of randomly put paint on their pages, and then once it dried, they blended it in with other colors. Boy, I use that green a lot, I guess, on that. My poor husband, I mean, the heat index here, we live in Missouri, we've got a farm here, and the heat index today was like 105. And he has been out working in those fields, putting up hay, and he's gonna, I'm sure, come in just totally exhausted. He is a hard worker, that's for sure. So some of these are a little lighter with the color, and some are darker, and I don't think it matters. I think the whole point is to just get a background going. Okay. Some of that might be very bright. I want it to be a little bit more muted than that. I'm going to try some of this shimmery paint. Let's see. Oh, what colors? Maybe a little of this. Yeah, that's pretty. Gonna just dab on here if you want to. I mean, their videos, they did fantastic jobs. I am, like I said, still fairly new to most of this, so mine may not turn out as pretty, but I think it's still gonna be something I can use. I don't see why I couldn't. Let's put in, let me look at this. There's blues in there, but what color of blue is it? And there's gray. They've got gray in there quite a bit. So maybe I'll use some of this gray. Not much. I don't want it to be like a dark fairy journal. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I've had that idea rolling around in my head for a while. I saw one that, I can't remember her name. It was one that Andrea at ARTYmaze, her sister, had made a journal for someone. And I don't think her sister has a channel, but the lady that she made this for had went on and was showing a video of it, and it was just gorgeous. It was such a pretty journal. If I can remember to, I will try to link that as well so that you can kind of get a look at it. But when I saw that one, I thought, you know, I've got to make something not exact for sure, but I can make something similar. And the point of this is just to put some color on here and not be too mindful of where it's going, which is difficult for me. I'm kind of one of those people that I I like to plan things out and just fly them by the seat of my pants. It's not the best thing for me to try to do. That one's getting a little bright. Might want to calm it down some. So I'm not drying this in between or anything. I think that they both just kind of blotted it with a paper towel. Let's see, what other color? I need a blue, but all of those blues are not quite right. They're too bright blue. Let me see what I have. I've got another color palette here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try some of this shimmery blue. Seeing already, I'm probably breaking the protocol because I'm bringing in a third palette just to bring out one color. But it's okay. And the way they did theirs was just really random, and I don't know if I'm good at random. I'm going to try a little bit of this blue as well. And they're all going to look, you know, somewhat similar because I'm using the same paint colors. But whenever I get done, they should have their own differences too. Here, I'm going quiet, sorry. I'm thinking about, and that's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to think about it. Just put the color on there. Okay. Whoops, sorry. So, kind of at this point, they kind of just, like I said, dabbed it up. I'm going to really wet it down so that some of that lifts off. And maybe the edges of the color smooth out a little bit better. Like that. Okay. Let's dab and see what happens. A couple of the stampings that I did were not the best. This one I tried it a couple times off of the sheet and then a couple times on the sheet, and it just didn't stamp very well. I don't know if my stamp was dusty or it shouldn't be. It's kept in a drawer. Okay, so not happy with these. I mean, the colors I think are pretty good for, if you can see that. I think the colors are pretty good. Let me look at that other. Yeah, I think those colors will work. This is kind of the look I'm wanting. Okay, so let me use some more of that gray. And then just kind of hit the edges of this. Gotten quiet again. Sorry, the parts that are so quiet I'll maybe add music to or something. Okay, that's going a little better. Okay, I'm liking it better. Alright, so then they did some splattering on it. I have a fan brush here. I think I'm going to keep it kind of light. I'm going to try this kind of a bronze color here. See if I can do a little splattering with this. Well, that's very small splatters. There we go. Those are pretty. And then I have, there's this kind of a, it's almost like a sage green color. And let's just add a little bit of this. Okay, I think I'm liking those. Oh, I don't know. Let me check something out and I'll be right back. Okay, I ran back and checked ARTYmaze's video to make sure I wasn't missing a step here. And I think the reason that mine is so different is because mine is lighter colors. She did use some darker colors. And then she was saying that the lady from Creative Cove had even used darker colors than she had. So I think we're good. I am going to try some dark green splatters because it looked like they had some darker splatters on theirs. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, and they were saying that everybody needs gold splatters, so we're gonna try some gold here. That looks really yellowy gold, but I think it's still gold. And I don't think they meant everybody needed gold splatters. I think that they were saying that the both of them enjoy the gold splatters. So who am I to argue with people who are so talented? Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I feel like anything more is just gonna pollute it. Alright, so then what they did is they took them off of this sheet and then they stitched around them and cut them out. So I'm not going to have you watch me do that on camera, but I will be back once I get that done and I'll show you the results. Okay, so I peeled off the tape and here's what we have now, which I think that these turned out pretty good actually. Now that they don't have that gray tape around them, they're going to match really, really well with what I've got going here. But I did remember one other thing that they did afterwards. Then they went on here and well, some of their areas they left blank and they stamped after they colored, and then some of them they went in and they used a fine tip marker and they just drew, you know, around it to make it look almost like a sketch. So I am going to do that as well. I only traced over 2 of them and realized that's not necessarily my forte. So I did trace this one over a little bit and this one. And the rest of them I'm just going to leave the way that they are, because some of these are just so tiny and so detailed. I'm really afraid I'm going to mess them up more than I'm going to help them. So I'm off to the sewing machine. Alright, so here are the finished pieces. I did sew on 3 of them only, and these 2 that the stamping didn't turn out so well, I think I'll just leave them alone and maybe use those for backgrounds of cluster pieces or something like that. These smaller ones, not sure how I'm going to use them in the journal, so again I'm just going to leave them alone. But I think that they turned out pretty cute. I mean, I'm not a watercolorer at all, and just using the guidance that Andrea and the lady from Creative Cove gave, I feel like I did accomplish something. And I do think, I was looking at them a little while ago, and I think these are going to be perfect for my fairy journal. The coloring is right. Look at those. Those just match it perfectly. So I'm really pleased with it, the outcome. I'll take a few close-up pictures for you of each one and I'll put them in the tail end of the video. Thanks for stopping, and I will catch you on the next one.